Hello, welcome back to Fist Entertainment. Before I go on to my first review of 3 films tonight, I do want to go ahead and answer a couple of questions from the previous video. Try to get this angle right as much as I can to kind of show everything in it. There, now you can kind of see them. Right there are the fronts. These are the overheads. The center's right there. I'll answer the first question. Do I have an acoustic transparent projector screen? No. Is it an obstacle when it comes to speaker placement? Yes and no. I mostly watch stuff on my television, not on this big screen up here that I pulled down. It's not a fixed frame, it's a pulled down screen. And as I mentioned in that video, thanks for your comments. I'm just doing the best I can to answer those real quick. I did tell you that at commercial theaters, you have all of this plus 2 subwoofers, sometimes 4 subwoofers behind the screen. And not all screens at a real commercial cinema are acoustic transparent. But there's simply no way within a real commercial theater you can actually go ahead and have the speakers on the outside of the screen. Now let's talk about the other one. Questionable placement of Dolby Atmos speakers. I'll be quick on this part too. There are 2 configurations for front Dolby Atmos effect speaker layouts. The most common one is what's called front top. Front top means that you mount it to the ceiling and you put it at an angle going out like this towards the listener. And I would say more like cross and more like that. Which is kind of what I have with these. The difference is I have them using the adder method of front Atmos effect placement of speakers. And that's not top front, it's front high. Now, if you take time on Google to do the research as to what front high placement should be, there's only one little mistake that I did make. They always suggest that you make them wider than the fronts. As you see, the fronts are wider than the overheads. But I did that for a reason. These speaker stands, these speaker wall mounts are screwed into studs in the drywall. Because these speakers are not commercial speakers. There's no commercial speakers in this room. These speakers, although they look small, are not as small as you think they are, and they weigh about 9 pounds. So using anchors, drywall anchors, and putting them anywhere you want is not an option. You really have to screw these wall mount brackets into studs, and that's what I did. However, it does meet the criteria of what is called proper front height placement of Dolby Atmos speakers. And that is to go ahead and basically have them 3 to 4 feet above the front speaker. Front speaker's right here. That's right there. Have them angled out the listening audience. These are slightly tilted down and angled. So they're basically doing this. And that one is going into the left leg of my primary seat that I sit in, while this side is doing the same thing for their chair. That way it meets in the middle, so that no matter which chair you sit in, everybody gets the same experience. And it's the same thing with these fronts. They're not pointing straight here. They're pointing at an angle. Now as for the center speaker, I'll go over the center speaker one more time for this video. So I guess we're calling this video just a follow-up, answering questions from the previous video. I guess we'll call it that. and then I'll get on to reviews. This is not a direct speaker. It's not pointing directly at anybody. It's pointing down. It's pointing down like this. It's pointing like that. And I followed the directions that were given from researching what that speaker actually is, which is a Marantz Atomist C2 version 2. 3-way wide dispersion 360 speaker. You have a plate that's right here, right above the tweeter. It disperses the sound starting here, and it does this. Now, these are direct one-ways. Those are direct one-ways. The surrounds, these guys, are not. I haven't placed it higher up, not at ear level, because of where the cities are. If I have it ear level, it would literally be right here for each person. And even with the sound not blasting directly into your ear, it's still too close to you, in my opinion. So having it higher up, but calibrating it with the calibration mic, which my system has, at ear level, right in between the two seats, which is exactly how I calibrate it, and it sounds awesome. It goes ahead and allows for this to happen. I'm sitting down, speaker's right there. It's doing this. The sound's not coming at me. It's going in front and behind me. Now, imagine pulling the big 100-inch screen down. You will have these giving you effects at the top of the screen. These giving you effects towards the bottom of the screen. And this wonderful big guy right here doing this, pushing this audio all over the screen. Believe it or not, that actually is not muffled, and it actually does sound very, very good. And I will stress it again. If you go ahead and go to a movie theater and you ask some questions to the technician to set up that auditorium you're watching a movie in, they will tell you at bare minimum you have 5 speakers and 2 subwoofers behind that screen. You ever wondered why you never see any front stereo speakers or a center mono speaker? Or wide front-based speakers? On the sides of the screen and the lower or above the screen? It's because it's behind the screen. Okay? I said that in the last video. I just wanted to go more into detail on what that means. Now, if I had regular speakers, I didn't have Cliff's Reference, Marantz Atomist C2 centered speaker, and Cliff's Reference Premier 2-way wide audio dispersion surround speakers, but I had regular cheap commercial speakers, and yes, having the screen pulled down on top of them would definitely not be a good idea. But these speakers are not commercial. In fact, I'll kind of show you what I mean. Take a look. Does that look like a commercial speaker to you? This is a titanium tweeter. This is an aluminum core processing woofer. It's made out of copper. People tell me I don't think it's aluminum. I just think it's copper. Yeah. Straight up copper, high processing woofer, titanium tweeter. All of these have it. This one, even more special, because the woofers, there's one here, and one here. So basically, it's like right here. So you have the titanium woofer right here, titanium woofer right here, a titanium tweeter right here, and you have a titanium plate that captures the audio and disperses it in a 360 bubble towards the audience, or the screen if it's pulled down. Magnetic grills, I might add. So, nothing's commercial in here. It's reference. In a lot of ways, these 7 speakers in the subwoofer I have in this room put out better sound than my local cinema. I'll go ahead and get into that when I get to my second movie review tonight, which is actually a out of theater review. But I just wanted to go ahead and go over that. Now, there was one more question, actually. Two actually. The 2 LED poster frames when they're lit up. People were concerned that they actually put light reflection onto the screen. They don't, because the light's contained within the frames. In fact, the LED light strip inside of the bar cabinet and the now you can actually see because I have it on, the backlight on the TV right here are at 100% intensity because is a contained light source. Now, as you notice, I don't have bright light flashing in my face from over here. I actually do have the LED light strip turned on that is surrounding the borders of my physical media display cases. I have that at 20%. Truth be told, actually less. That's right. I have it at 15% intensity. That way, you know, if I want to have it on, I can have it on. Now, that's the only light, even at 10% intensity, it will put light reflection onto the screen. But it's because of where the light's located. It's located right here. The screen's right here. And so, yes, that will do it. And it's not a contained light source. The light's literally pushing at me right here. You might be able to see a little bit of the reflection, actually. I actually, now to take a look at myself in the camera, you actually can. However, though, side extended light rope lights right here are at 20%. The diffused side lights with diffusers on them, light strips, are at 20%. I have the overhead ones at 25% when I watch the movie on a big screen. Although I have them at 20% right now. Usually when I'm watching stuff on the telly, I'll have them at 50%, but I'm actually seeing how I like it at 20%. So I turn all these lights down to a very low level. Now, if I had them at a high level, then yes, you would have a shit amount of reflection onto the big projector screen. TV too. But I don't. I have everything in this room right now except for the TV backlight and the LED light strip inside of the bar cabinet at 100, but they're contained. It's contained back here, and it's contained inside of the cabinet. That light's not going to escape and put out light reflection issues. So the answer to that question is no. I do not have light reflection issues. However, every now and then I will put a movie on a big screen that is very, very dark and hard to see things. Then at that point, yes, I would turn these 2 poster frames off. Everything else, not a problem. Whenever I watch a movie on the big screen, obviously I have the LED light that's covering the frame borders of my display case off. I have it on right now. That's just add a little bit more light, so I don't use way too much exposure when it comes to reviewing stuff and talking about stuff on front of a camera. So hopefully that clears it out. I actually really did enjoy reading all the comments. I do understand that everybody's just bringing up their concerns because they want to make sure I have really good quality. I couldn't be happier. Just like I said in that last video, I could not be happier of how this theater environment turned out. But I also wanted to record this video, answer all the questions and everything, sitting right here with my setup the way I usually have it. Because this is not a dedicated theater room. Now when it comes to the whole top front, top middle, top rear configuration, you usually want to do that if you have a 5.1.4 configuration, because then you would have 2 pairs of Dolby Atmos speakers. However, though, if you have a 5.1.2, you can actually get away, and it's recommended, I might add, it's actually recommended by professional experts that you should go for this configuration, which is called front high. But you gotta do it right. Give you a little bit of an idea. It's like that. So not straight, like that, and slightly over. So it's not pointing like this. It's going like that. So it actually is going from overhead into the audience. And so it puts out great Atmos. But keep in mind, Dolby Atmos is very interesting. It depends on how it was recorded. Some Dolby Atmos tracks don't have really anything going on in overhead. It's all bed layer speakers. But that's definitely enough. We're at 16.5 minutes, a little over 16.5 minutes. I think I answered everybody's questions. Thank you for the wonderful comments, and thank you for all the wonderful views. That video is almost at 200 views now. That's pretty impressive. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it explains a lot about the setup, a little more in depth on it. And obviously with the big screen not pulled down, you can actually see everything a little bit more. I will see you guys next time for my first official movie review in quite a while. Until then.